Okay, the search for Atlantis is, it's pretty obvious where Atlantis is, actually, and that's just a fact. You have to see it and see what you think. But I'm not in searching for Atlantis on Google Earth, and I see this little structure here. This has nothing to do, well, it has something to do with Atlantis, but not a whole lot. But I see this, and I was following these roads along what looks like an old ancient seabed. Now, let's back out of here a little bit. And you see, see it here? Now, I was noticing all of these. They look like boat slips. Now, watch as we back out a little more. See it? Boom, 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 boom. Now, follow that road. I followed that road all the way along. You see? I followed the road all the way down along the seashore. And it just keeps going and going and going. If you look here, you can see it. It's right there. All right? So now, well, I don't know if you can see it here. It's like this one here. Zip right there. Now, we come down, down, down. All that road all the way down. Look what you find down here. I don't know what that is, but this is the same thing. This is a road of some sort, and then there's some kind of structures down here, maybe like a merry-go-round. I don't know. You know, I'm just kidding around. I don't know what's down here, but there's something right there. And then as you go back up where we were a minute ago, see the road going all the way up here? See it? Tip, 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 tip. Somebody was out there. Now, I don't know if they're still living out there. I don't think so. This, when you see where it is, you will know why I say I don't think so. And then there's this thing here. What the heck is that? That I have no clue about either. But it's all part of this road system. And anyway, it runs up and you got white spots. You got roads running all over. And then you have all of these boat slips. And look where this is. You see this? You see this? Now look where this is. You see that? Right there, that's the eye of the Sahara right there. You see that? And this is the structure we were just looking at, which is like a secondary populated area of this eye, and that is Atlantis. Now you see the different colors of the rings? They were coated with different colored metals, and metals have colors. Now this is so deep, it's way deeper than our Grand Canyon, and it's way wider than the Grand Canyon, and this ran out of here, and if you look up here you will see that it ran over some type of structure that was in the way of it, and it turned it into more or less of a sluice. Hold on. If we come back up here, you'll see it. It comes right on through here. Right up here, there was something that blocked this entire strait, and I think that was the entrance, and it was, or over here somewhere. But anyway, this was the straits that they talk about, not the Straits of Hercules that they thought it was. I think that Hercules was added later. And anyway, all this drained right off of here and created the Cape Verde Islands out here. If you look at this, that's no question. That just ran and drained right off of there, the mud flow. Now, Plato put it right here. At 9,100 years before his time, Atlantis sunk. He said all of this. Herodotus puts this in the exact same spot on his map. I think it was 450 or 650 BC. I think it's 450 BC. And Atlas Mountains are here. Atlas, Atlantis, Atlas. It says Atlantis right there on a map. I'll show you that in a second. Just what it is. I mean, I'm not making this up. And everybody else is going for now 3,500 years ago and Manoa and all that business. It's insanity. And they exploded in volcanoes and Santorini and so forth. But it's obviously it's sunk. And he said he was mining all the minerals under there, and the damn thing sunk. And it drained out, and never again will anybody ever talk about mud flowing after this mud flow, he said, Plato. And he got that information. So Solon got it from the ancient Egyptian priests. The ancient Egyptian priests got it from the survivors from Atlantis, because they ended up going there. And they ended up going to South America too, and they ended up going up north too. Or they were the long-headed people, dominating and took over the simple-minded, the childlike, round-headed people that were just sort of living off the land. They took them over, and they made them treat them like gods. By the way, this is the dragon that I found a while back. And here's his head right here, and all this stuff running out of his mouth. That's the stuff they spit at people, set them on fire. This is his head. This is the little fluty stuff you always see on the dragon's body. They have run all over, and that's the flutes along his back. Now let's go into his neck. You see, I told you this is his head and his eye and so forth. Here's his neck. All right, you see that? Those, I think those are dragon scales, and I show you why. Let's follow his neck all the way down. We're inside of his neck right now. You saw where it started in his mouth. This is his neck. You see it? And there's dragon scales all along the whole thing. That's not any natural, formation of rocks, and they just run along here, the whole inside of this dragon's neck. You see that? That's not natural. And if we kept going and going and going and going, okay, it's all the same thing. There's nothing here that's mysterious. And you see this? If you back out, you see this effluent, all of this stuff here, all running here? That's a decaying dead body. That's his throat. That's that little fluty stuff running around down his neck. And they have this, you see them in the dragons, and that little yellow stuff running behind it. That is exactly what you see in these dragons. And you see this is the bodily emissions of a dead creature, which is on the surface, so it didn't happen that long ago. And these are the bodily emissions, which is decomposition. This thing did not die that long ago. It's not buried under miles of dirt or anything. It's laying right on the top. Look at it. That's what happens when bodies die and they run off, the blood and goo and everything. And we're down towards the stomach, and I think this is the source right here. It pinches off, and this spits the stuff out right here. Just a guess. Well, let's come out of here because he's very big. We're only down towards his stomach area. Now his stomach is in this area, and I believe these are his legs. You see this? All this red stuff here, this is also blood that ran off. This is running off of his dead, decaying, decomposing, dragon-scaled body. And if you follow these legs, and you follow this body, and you follow from his head, probably his wings are laying around there too, all the way down his dragon-scaled tail, all the way off almost into the Mediterranean, and you're going to see this is his tail. This is not something, look at that. You don't think that's a dragon? I don't know what to say. You don't think that's runoff? I also don't know what to say. But if it is a dragon, I don't really know what to say either. I mean, what can I say? I don't know what to say. But it is a dragon, and the damn thing is 900 miles long. That's all I can tell you, so let's close the case on that one. And then I'm going to show you where Atlantis is on Herodotus' map. Alright, here's Herodotus' map from 450 BC. There's Atlantis right there where the pointer is. And that is the eye of the Sahara, and that closes the case as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, go to my Facebook groups. I'll show you where they are. Hold on one second. Alright, this one is pretty much strictly the Mudfossils, and this is about Mudfossil Original Research Group. And I found Mudfossils and discovered them, and then I had them DNA tested and CAT scanned, and an anatomist checked them, and I did all the chemistry and recreated the process in the lab, creates feldspar and so forth. And it's fully understood now, and and they're giant human beings, and that's a hard thing for them to accept. And plus we found other hominid species who call them no-toes, like the ones you see right here. And normally they're encased. This one eroded through. They have toes inside, but they're encased in flesh. And the bones of the feet are totally different. They have springs instead of tendons. A lot of things need to be looked at, and they refuse to even discuss with me. Not one single university will contact me back, and I've tried virtually all of them. They don't like this, that I'm doing this. They take this as an affront to them. I tried to offer them to look at my stuff, and I didn't want anything to do with it. Well, they forced me to go in as deep as I went, and I went as deep as you can get. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's all over. And it's really all over for them, because they should have jumped on this, and they didn't, and now they look like what they are is frauds. So that's a fact, and that's my opinion, and as far as I'm concerned, it's a fact. Because that's what happened, is they treated me on a fool's mission and said, go do this, do this, do this. And all the time, never wanting, ever going to look at the information. So now it's up to you students to straighten this out, because I can't help you anymore. They will not pay attention to me. They're taking your money, not paying attention to this evidence. It's up to you to do something about it. I think this is mainly the reason they won't do anything about it, is because it leads to creation, it leads to God, it leads to Jesus Christ, it leads to spiritual awareness, which they do not like and they do not allow, as far as I know. Alright, here's where you need to go to find out the reality of life. This is Mudfossil University. I had to start this myself because of the real universities. They claim to be the centers of knowledge. They won't pay attention to reality. And this is 100% backed up by evidence. Anybody wants to debate this, I will debate forever, because I have nothing to fail. Everything here is backed up by truth. And you see that? That's underwater civilization off of Costa Rica. You go down and look at that. This is the dragon carcass. Look at this. This one right here is some new things that we found. Some the no-toes. And if you come out here, you're going to come out and see the Egyptian. Watch this. This is the Egyptian mummies. And look at this. This is the blood running out of it, because inside that statue is an actual guy. Look at the stuff running out of his ear. You missed it. All right, but that's okay. You see down here? Look at this. These are his ribs. You see that? They look at it and they see a very strange weathering pattern. This is Brian Foster's video, and he's letting us show this. Very nice of him. And that is the ribs of the guy's body. He's encased in a granite mixture, and granite is not even a natural stone. There's so much that is misunderstood. I mean, look, this is this guy's lung. This is his kidney. These are his ribs. And I noticed that one is out of place. So I think that he was crushed into this mold. And that rib popped up, maybe. Maybe it popped out of place because of gravity, because he was normally standing up at one time. So that's what I'm telling you. We need to investigate this and it's going to be exciting. Why is this being opposed? Don't let this happen. You're the ones that are trying to learn reality, and they're the ones that are charging you a ton of money to teach you something that they won't even look at and verify it's true. So it's up to you to take care of this. So I'm done with it. By the way, Mudfossil University is not just about mud fossils and rocks and stones and all that business. It's about the reality of everything. And it goes into E equals mc squared, which does not work. Einstein said light has no mass. Well, if it has no mass, it would have no energy. So his equation doesn't even work. And c squared means nothing if it could be 1 if it never changes. So anyway, these are the things. Confront your teachers with this stuff. These are the no-toes. It's a new human species. It's very, all of this is quite well detailed, and there's all kinds of stuff in here. This is very interesting stuff. This is nothing that is unsupported. This is all reality. So. And it's your basic courses. It's not something I'm teaching you how to go in here and split an atom or something. I'm teaching you about the reality of life, what you're walking on, what you're eating, what the molecules are, and how they bond and react to each other. C14 is insanity. They're using C14 to test organic matter for age, because they don't take into account carboxylation, which is carbon keeps moving through with other attachments to it. It's called carboxylation of transition metal complexes and so forth. And they move in and out all the time. So whatever it's coming in with is the carbon that's coming in, and the carbon that's leaving was the carbon that was there. So if they test 5 different places, they're going to get 5 different carbons probably. And they do. And they grab the one they think is good, and if one doesn't work for them, they say it's not conclusive. So, and I know that's a fact too, so don't tell me it isn't. So that's the colors of carboxylation of transition metal elements bonding with specific variegated tissues inside of a heart of some creature. I think it's human. And that was in the opal area, what they call the Yoa region of Australia. That's what it is. So they have to take into account some of the reality that I'm displaying here and then deal with this. And I will discuss this with anybody. And academia, right here, is losing credit. Is academia losing credit? Yes, they are. And it's their own fault. So let's take them to task, my friends.